We are alive. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the L3R3 podcast with myself, Hard Days Mike. It's me, Twan, and Ham Solo is back
Oh,
for an
the
episode.
goodness.
We're gonna get into the intros and everything, obviously. And whoever wants to start us off on the intros, I mean, whoever wants to go first, what you've been playing, what you've been up to, how's it been for you guys? Let them know. Let them know how it's going. I'll go last on that.
Okay, I guess I'll go then. So I mean, for the most part, pretty much all I've been playing was is just Final Fantasy Rebirth right now. Game's great. I'm just chipping away at that while I can, and I'm also playing. I'm still playing Unicorn Overlord as well. Strategy. I think we talked about. I think I was. I think I mentioned it last episode as well. But yeah, it's a great, beautiful strategy RPG. So I'm enjoying that, but I haven't been playing as much as Final Fantasy. That's like the
Is it
main
life
thing I'm
changing?
going. No, yeah, I didn't get to the life changing part yet. I'm sure it's gonna get to that point, but I'm still,
Hopefully.
I'm still really early on. So, that'll probably come later. But Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, fantastic so far. I'm really enjoying it. I think I'm on chapter 8 now, so I'm getting it done. So yeah, great game. Good reason to own a PS5 if you don't have one already. Definitely should pick one up. And yeah, I think that's. I guess we'll go over to Michael now. So
I've honestly haven't been playing too much new lately. I'm just kind of waiting on Dragon's Dogma 2 more than anything. Thank you again, Matt, for gifting that to me as an early
It's
birthday present.
no issue at all,
Also,
buddy.
happy birthday on stream, even though it was a few days ago now.
Oh yeah, I'm 30 years old. That's
oh yeah,
sure
that's right.
something.
Yeah, happy
You're
belated
70.
birthday. I forgot to mention that.
Old ass son of a bitch.
It's old.
Feels
That's
like it.
old.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, but I've kind of just been waiting to play that. I mean, I kind of, still playing the finals, still playing Doom. I've been playing everything I've been talking about for the last few weeks still. At the moment, I actually booted up my PlayStation 3 emulator to play some Time Shift and Killzone. So I'm going to try to play that a bit. But one game, actually, I almost forgot to mention, I've hopped back into is MechWarrior 5. That game's awesome. Tough as balls at certain points, like genuinely insanely difficult. But I really enjoy it. That there's so much to do in that game. There's so much depth and the importance of like managing your resources, both money, ammo on the field, what type of mechs you want to take in because of how expensive it is going to be to repair them, all types of things. Like all you can. It's a really cool game that when I first played it, I did enjoy it, but I didn't really appreciate how complex it is and the amount of little systems going on and in the story and like the lore and like the politics of going on in that like intergalactic war. Um, I'm really enjoying that game. That's been fun to play. Yeah, that game's campaign's completely co-op. Like Vinny was able to hop in and just take a random mech and just in my like inventory, and he was able to play in it and no issue. And then I could go back to playing single player, no issue. I feel like
Yeah.
not many games sometimes are that easy. But yeah, Mech Warrior 5 is a very fun game. That's really kind of all I've been playing. Just waiting for Dragon's Dogma.
Sure. Vincent Vega, appreciate you for stopping by in the chat and thank you for the birthday wishes and everything. Ham, let them know what you're up to, what you've been playing, where you're gonna be going this week
Exciting.
because you're going on a little trip.
Yeah, I'm taking a little time at the PAX East convention that's going down this Thursday. I'm gonna be leaving town on Wednesday. But as for what I've been playing as of recently, a lot of Dragon's Dogma, 2K24. I think that's pretty much kind of it, to be honest. I mean, I guess I could say the finals or Rocket League or some Halo.
Sure.
But I mean, if I'm talking about the meat and potatoes of what I've been playing, it's mostly Dragon's Dogma. I feel like there's something on PlayStation I've been playing. Oh yeah, some
Final Fantasy.
I was playing a little bit of Final Fantasy, but not enough to really say I've been like getting down on it.
Yeah.
Sekiro, I kind of got down on that. Me and Matt also played some
Oh
Evil
yeah.
West.
Evil West. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oof.
That's a game.
Yeah, it's something. Elden Ring, played a little bit of that a few weeks ago, mixed with some RoboCop, Sifu. That's really about it. I mean, I'm just kind of rambling at this point. That's what I've been playing.
Preaching. I feel it. I mean, as for myself, Skyrim, a whole lot of Skyrim. Dragon's Dogma the past few days, trying to get myself into a rhythm with that game.
Oh yeah, and
I
Dishonored. Sorry, Dishonored too.
Dishonored, phenomenal game. Which reminds me,
It's
I
kind of mid.
I just started Prey on Xbox Game Pass on PC,
You just
so I can
ignored
get. I did ignore that because that's bullshit, man. And so I started Prey on Xbox Game Pass on PC, so I can get Xbox achievements again for the game because I'm a psychopath and I love that game. But other than that, I mean, God, 2K. I mean, it's always 2K every night, pretty much. So like that kind of goes without saying.
Like morning coffee, you know.
Pretty much. I mean, I'm really just biding time for Dragon's Dogma 2. It's coming out this Friday, and I can't wait. And nothing else is gonna make me happy until that game gets here. So that's just kind of the way it is right now for me. But we do have some topics today to get into. I feel like first we'll probably start with the Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection launch.
I heard that was great.
Yeah, it was something. It was definitely something. It was probably one of the more tragic launches this generation, quite frankly. Got to make sure that volume was off before I brought that up. But yeah, Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection launch is a disaster. This is from IGN. I mean, I'm sure you guys have heard some variation of what's been going on.
It's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I remember because I remember Ham offer. He was like, "Hey, I'll get you that for your birthday," and then like
Ham,
the next day, like the game had come out, and I got online. I saw people talking about it on Twitter, and somebody was like, "Yeah, the game launched with like 3 servers that could hold 64 people," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's bad." And I sent Ham that. And I'm like, maybe just go ahead and don't get me that.
Don't.
Just
Save your money.
Save your money. Don't get me that because I was really looking forward to this game, but it's truly an unfortunate launch. Not to mention the fact that there's the whole controversy with modded files being in the game. Even though Aspire was saying, "Hey guys, that's not a thing. We didn't do that." Turns out, well, you kind of lied to everybody, and you did that.
That's
Mike,
insane. That just shows the bare minimum. Like the fact that
I wanted to ask you if you want to talk about that because you know a lot more about that. And you were actually talking about how Pandemic Studios had all those files for them already and they chose not to use
so essentially to make the story that's long, just to make it short, just essentially so Battlefront 2 on the original Xbox got like kind of like an exclusive, I want to say kind of like an exclusive DLC drop. It added 2 new characters, Asajj Ventress and Kit Fisto. They had their own like attack animations, attack powers, lightsaber stance, yada yada yada. So that was the only place it was released. On PC and PlayStation 2 didn't get it. So essentially what ends up happening is that modders on PC make it themselves. They add it in themselves. They do their own texture work. However, because they had to make it themselves, there were certain things, that were different, that were visibly different, or in function. So essentially at one point, from my understanding is that Pandemic did end up releasing a majority of like all the files and source code or things that can help the modders out with modding and adding things to the game. So a few months ago, or I should say a month ago now, wow, when the Battlefront Classic Collection first came out, people's alarm bells started going off, especially modders, when people saw Asajj Ventress because her texture model and her attack stance, whatever, looked exactly like the original mod. And they reached out to Aspire and like, yeah, no, you guys are right. That is the original mod. However, that was from like an internal gameplay test thingy, whatever, like a year ago. And everyone's like, okay, at least they were honest about it, and they're gonna fix that. Apparently, they obviously did not fix that, because other, especially for Kit Fisto in particular, the PC mod, exact attack animations, and if I'm not mistaken, certain UI user interface, like custom, mod made user interface things for his character were also found in the game file that you can actively use in game. So essentially, they lied about not using mods in it, and then they did not credit the mod makers. So not only did they lie about the fact that there was no modded content in the game, they also didn't what's the word, give credit to the people that put a lot of time and effort into these models.
Yeah.
And put it on addition to a game where the main campaign is missing cutscenes. Some of the cutscenes play at literally 240p. Textures are missing.
Nuts.
Yep, textures
It's
are
bad.
missing. Some people and Battlefront 2 on PC, if you try to play it online, I think on console as well, if you try to play it online, it locks your frame rate at 29 FPS.
Interesting.
There's
Very cinematic.
there's basic quality of life function features that just aren't there for a remaster / re-release. And it's a goddamn shame that a game that was literally finished over a decade ago is just released broken. I don't know.
A decade ago, we're getting to 20 years
20,
now.
right? Yeah, right. How long has it been? Jesus
Was
Christ!
it
What year
05
is
when
it?
that
I'm
came
old.
out?
2005, 2006.
Yeah, dude, it's been
Yeah.
about 19 years.
It's been a minute. Yeah.
It's like, or was it 2004, somewhere around there. Anyways, it's like the
One
fact
sexy
that it's
anniversary.
so goddamn lazy, and it's such a absolute shame. Aspire needs to be like not given anything anymore, because that is just. And what's not over.
No.
Also, a lot of people realize is that also with how big the texture file sizes are, right? Well, people are like, well, the
Yeah.
textures are upscaled to 4K using either AI or whatever the fuck they did. However, a lot of people realize
them
if you go
KOTOR.
play it, that too. If you go to Battlefront 2 though on PC, or Battlefront 1, the original one, and you set it to max settings at 4K, they look almost identical, like literally identical. So now, not only did they basically do nothing with solving the texture issues, they made the game like 30 times like bigger than the original one. I don't know,
isn't
man.
it like 70 gigabytes or close
It's like
to
70 gigabyte, and I'm pretty sure you can get Battlefront 1 and 2, and combined it's like 12 gigabytes or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
I heard-
dude, I don't know what they did, but that's like black magic.
I heard like that's the funniest thing is like some people said like they got like 2 games that were like 5 gigabytes each, and they turned it into like a broken 70 gigabyte game.
A broken 70 gigabyte game, and it's like it's just such a goddamn shame, because those games deserve so. Battlefront in general as a series deserves, and this isn't like being hyperbolic, but it genuinely deserves so much better than what EA, than what LucasArts, than what Disney has given it. They were their most successful games of all time upon release. The first 2, there was the best-selling Star Wars games, both back to back. And the fact that it's just treated like this bastard child at this point, when I don't know, I feel like most of your other Star Wars games don't reach the same height as fame, like KOTOR, for example, also treated like a bastard child, is pretty despicable, to be truthful. You guys know I love those Star Wars games.
Mhm.
I fucking love them.
Well, they're classics.
And
man,
they're classics. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm just happy that like even Republic Commandos re-release had issues. I don't know who did Republic Commandos though.
Wasn't I'm gonna double check that. I thought it was Night Dive.
So it's it's just I don't think Night Dive did Republic Command. Dude, if Night Dive did did the Battlefront remaster, I mean the collection, it would be freaking just
Even worse.
no, not Night Dive Studios. They're the one that did Dark Forces. They do a great
Man,
job.
don't trust them.
Oh my god.
That's what Mike's telling us.
No,
What Night
Nixus
Dive?
should
Wait,
have
what
done
did
it.
they do something? Did they do a bad port of a game? I don't know of.
Well, no, I'm just joking, Mike.
Oh no, sorry, I just didn't. I
Yeah, I don't
genuinely
even know
didn't
what we're talking about.
Oh, this battle. If Night died, remember how you gifted me Star Wars Dark Forces? It's the people that made that remake / remaster.
Oh
They're
yeah,
very
that looks like a
talented.
pretty good game.
Yeah, it's like they're really good. They remastered Blood. They've remastered literally like almost everything at this point. And it's just a shame that Aspire got their hands on this game. Apologies for the tangent.
It feels like they have their hands
Yeah,
on like
it's
every
Night
like
Dive.
Star Wars thing these days. Like
Night Dive really handled that. Wow.
It is Night Dive. Yep. I thought it was because I
gotta-
remember seeing their name associated with it.
I need to
But
play
yeah.
that then. Oh.
But yeah, I mean, wait, sorry, you have anything else?
No, that's it.
All right. Well, yeah, I mean, but here's like the tweet that I saw. I'm pretty sure I sent this one to Ham the night it released. It says 10,000 people playing on launch night, only has 3 servers that have 64 slots for a total of 200 players. Multiplayer doesn't work otherwise. Price tag of $35 USD. Not good.
It's
That
gotta
I mean,
be
was it
about
like this
not
on
good.
consoles as
$2.
well? I heard the Switch version wasn't as bad as the PC version.
I think the servers and everything weren't as bad, but I think a lot of the
All the
issues that
technical
Mike
issues are
listed
still
off,
there.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're still very
Yeah,
much
because other than
prevalent.
well, I guess because you said like the cutscenes and shit are like 2040p and all that shit, right?
Or they're missing over half of them.
Yeah.
That's
wouldn't be messed.
insane.
I can't imagine that.
Forgot to
releasing a
put the
campaign.
cutscenes in.
Like you're probably
Right?
better off. Like at least if you're on Xbox, you're probably better off just playing the OG Xbox version rather than this
Yeah,
collection. Like
Might
it's
as
there's no.
well.
yeah,
It's a goddamn. It's a joke.
yeah.
You might as well, but yeah, I mean, Twan, Ham, anything to say about Star Wars Battlefront Collection? I mean, any positive things you can say about this?
Oh, well, okay.
$35 is a good deal if it actually worked. You know.
Well, yeah, I'm just kidding about the positive part. Go in on it if you guys want it. Doesn't matter.
I mean, it's.
He said if the game was what it was supposed to be, it would be a good deal.
It would. It'd be a
Would be
great
fun.
deal if it worked.
Yeah, if
the way it was
everything, if
supposed to work.
everything that was promised, came out, it worked. The servers were tip top shape. Yeah, that would have been great.
I mean, if
$35, no brainer.
if that GTA remaster collection was what it was supposed to be, that would have been a fucking awesome.
Yeah,
deal.
yeah,
It would've been
people, if
fantastic.
developers just, or not even developers, I'm pretty sure publishers or I don't know, who published this actually? Did Aspire publish it as well?
Ooh,
Or
let's
Question.
find
I actually
out
don't know who the hell
about that.
published that, honestly.
because sometimes it could be the publisher's issue as well, right? They want to, they want to get something out the door, and the developers are just,
I
tied up.
won't disagree with that, but they've
Yeah.
done this before with KOTOR, where they have
Yeah.
literal game-breaking bugs they have not fixed. Like the game will
Developed
literally,
and published by Aspire.
Okay, so I guess it's all their fault then. So
it's
yeah,
not looking good.
Listen,
but
I
is
mean,
Aspire... No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that I feel like a lot of developers, especially well-established name-wise developers, like your Aspires, your Naughty
Yeah.
Dogs, your
but
you
Bethesda
know,
Softworks
just big
or whatever.
studio
Yeah.
type of companies. I feel like they really underestimate the power of a lower price game.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like you have an IP that's this iconic. All the fans want it to do is work.
Yep.
And like this could have been that nostalgia pull that made me see, Matt playing the game and be like, oh man, I need to buy this somewhere else. And then somebody else sees that, I mean, it's a domino effect. Word of mouth is the most powerful source of advertising. And it's just wild to see. Like, this is why people don't want nobody to touch KOTOR. Because of shit like this.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, Aspire's not. It's Saber Interactive working on KOTOR, right? It's not Aspire. I think it was Aspire at one point.
Yeah,
wasn't
it was. It was.
Yeah,
It was
And then they got
Vegas.
removed.
Yeah.
They got removed off of it. Yeah.
Well, didn't it get canceled or something? I don't know. Like, I don't even know what's going on. With
I don't think
right
it's
now.
canceled. In fact, I'm pretty sure there was news
got
today.
shelved.
Yeah,
shelved.
there was news today. Let me find it. I swear I just saw
Got
news today
Last of
about
Us.
like it was
It got Last of
still.
Us.
Yeah, right. It's still
Yeah, remember there's even that Spider-Man game. I don't know if you saw that one, the one that got leaked. The Great Web or whatever it's called.
the online game. Yeah,
Yeah, it was like an online Spider-Man Insomniac game. Like the whole trailer got leaked. And I'm
the
pretty sure
game
that
that
got yeah.
the game that looks way better than the Horizon multiplayer game that they're working on, but
Oh, I didn't
somehow
even know that was a thing that they're working on. I don't even
Oh
know.
my god, yeah, they
you
are.
should look it up at some point because it's pretty terrible. I remember a few weeks ago, Vinny let us know about that a few weeks ago, and we watched like on the show. I think Vinny sent a link to Loke to like show like the leaked footage of the game, and it looks like Power World. It looks like a lesser version of
Power
Power
World.
It looks
a lesser version of Power World. Again,
it legit does. It legit does.
It's funny.
But the thing is, it's like you hope it's like early alpha, extra alpha.
Like I mean, to be fair, they're not showing it, proudly,
It-
right? So
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't great. But yeah, it's just wild to me that Sony. Yeah, right. It looked like another AAA Sony banger.
Yep.
But yeah, it's wild to me that they would cancel Spider-Man, but they would.
Yeah, I feel that would have been a hit.
Yeah, I don't know.
It would have been a hit.
I mean, I saw
there's
even like one shot where like a guy's like playing as Venom or something. I was, what the hell's going on here? Yeah.
It's just the whole like how they probably didn't know how to make it continuously profitable is probably literally all it is.
You know what happened? Probably fucking Bungie went in there and was like, "Nah, this is not gonna work," and then they just canceled.
Bungie came in and said, "I can't see anybody playing this for more than a week."
Canceled, done.
And Sony was like, "Yes, okay, cancel."
Yeah,
that's
just
fucking funny.
You guys are done.
Who knows? Like ever since they bought Bungie, who knows how many projects got canceled because of them? Like,
I mean,
I'm sure I'm sure fucking Last of Us would have been out and we've already played it by now if they never purchased Bungie. I'm like very confident that game would have came out.
Yeah, I mean,
I really wish things would have played out different. I was happy that PlayStation bought Bungie. I was happy that somebody got Bungie, and then just seeing what it's all led to is just it's
depressing.
I'm very upset. I wish that would have played out any other way.
Right.
Is what it is though. But up next on the list of topics, we gotta talk about the PS5 Pro because rumored specs have been circulating on the internet. I'm sure I know Mike, you've got some thoughts on it. I certainly do, but it for me personally doesn't get me excited, and I'll show you guys why and everything here if I can actually find. Okay, so it says the headline improvements here are to the CPU, which is kind of insane because that's not the headline improvement, which is said to be identical to the standard PS5 CPU, but with a high CPU frequency mode, which amounts to a 10% increase to 3.85. Okay, whatever. It's a 10% increase to the boost clock on the CPU. That's not a lot. In perspective, that's not a lot. In perspective, the 1X to the 1 was 31%. So keeping that.
Wow! I honestly didn't even know that. Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Now the big talking point with the PS5 Pro isn't so much a CPU. I don't know why the hell they said that's a headline improvement, but whatever. It's IGN. I mean, but the big talking point is 33 teraflops. People are getting like really excited, up in arms, whatever you want to call it, about this. Like it's 4080 performance, whatever people are saying. And I'm going to pass it off to Mike, being the more resident PC centric person here. I mean, it's kind of hard to ask Mike if he's excited at all about PS5 Pro because I know he's not. But when you see these specs, what do you think, Mike?
I mean, I think the GPU side's cool. The CPU, the thing is though, it's just that CPU that is just terrible. It's really just the thing that's really, I mean, just it holds it back. It holds back the entire package. Like it just really does. But the one thing I will admit that is really cool to me is the fact we're going to see the debut of PlayStation's like AI-based super resolution tool. So I think that is very cool and very smart that they're investing in that and not just being like, oh, we're going to use FSR for everything. Because I don't think
that's
it's
not
proving that's not really working out for some games. So
yeah.
it's probably for the best that they're working on an AI-based
Solution.
an AI-based super resolution tool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as a whole, am I excited for this? No. Am I happy to see new tech come out and see like what PlayStation first party can do with it? Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Yes.
But I'm seeing people, some people, like you said, saying it's the same as a a 4090 or a 4080 or a 47 Ti, and they're just not. But I mean, but people are going to say what they're going to say. Regardless, it would be a boost to the GPU performance because that's kind of the point of the Pro console. But I mean, yeah, I really, in my personal opinion, I understand they want to squeeze out as much money from the market as possible. I get it. I kind of wish they just just didn't have a pro console this generation. I kind of just wish we'd let it play out.
Yeah, just
Like
see what
maybe
happens.
and just
Yeah.
like let it either end a year early, or I don't know, just not even have to do it a year early, because I feel like this generation started so fucking terribly because of how hard it was to get anything that, and not even just because of that. I feel like we're kind of at the point where the GPU isn't exactly the issue of these consoles. You can see what this
No, it's not.
GPU equivalent on PC can do if you have a good CPU. It can push some really good graphical settings with decent frames. It's the CPU that's holding it back. So personally, I kind of wish they just held off. It's just kind of, maybe launch it a year earlier. I really don't know how that works internally, so I won't really say. But I mean,
Sure.
I'm happy for people that want it. All three of you. I'm just kidding. It's gonna be way more than that.
Definitely me.
Yeah, definitely, Matt. You're gonna have like 7 of them.
I'll buy 2.
I mean, I don't. I'm definitely not gonna get one right away. I'll probably get one eventually, but
well, that's
not right away.
That was my next question, because you're, out of all of us, you're the most PlayStation centric person here.
Yeah.
So my question for you, which you just kind of answered, is are you even excited about this?
I mean, if anything, I'm kind of dreading it. If anything, honestly, because I feel like they're gonna make games that take advantage of the PS5 Pro. Now I feel like I'm gonna have an inferior version of the game now. So it's
you will.
Yeah, it almost feels like I really just wish they just put resources in optimizing games for the current PS5 rather than be like, let's add a few more teraflops on this and maybe that'll fix things. And I feel like that's just the wrong way to go about things. Like what Phil Spencer said, right? I feel like this generation just started, right? Because we have people and they don't even they haven't even fully taken advantage of these consoles yet. I feel like I haven't reached that point. Spider-Man 2 feels like a PS5, PS4 game that's just enhanced. And I feel like the game that probably feels like the most PS5 ish is probably like Final Fantasy 16. That's probably the only game so far I feel like that really takes advantage of it, just because how big those bosses could be. But yeah, I mean, I just feel like it's just kind of lazy. Just it kind of defeats the purpose of consoles, honestly. Just just keep on releasing new ones rather than just stick with what you have and then release a successor to it, rather than just releasing improved updates over time. I don't know. I don't think that's the way to go about it. But yeah, but I don't know. I mean, if maybe who knows if they'll even improve PSVR 2. I feel like that could be interesting if they have some improvements with the VR mode, because I know the PS4 Pro had some improvements when it came to the PSVR. It actually improved it a lot. So I'd be interested in seeing that. But like I said, I'm not gonna get one right away. I'll definitely wait it out, see what happens with it. If they really do anything interesting with it, I'll probably buy it. But I'll have to see it first. That's definitely not something I'll pre-order. That's 100% not happening. Especially with the Switch around the corner, I'm definitely going to save my money whenever the new Switch comes out, because I think that's a higher priority than whatever this is going to be.
He's a Nintendo, folks.
Yeah.
Ham, what do you think about a PS5 Pro?
As somebody that likes to be power hungry, I like new things, but at the same time, I'm just kind of like, well, if you're making a bunch of stuff for PC now, then I'm already more powerful than the pro is gonna be.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like, am I really buying something that's necessary, more or less? As Swan just got done referring to, it's just like, I don't feel like we've maxed out or really taken advantage
Of the current
of
PS5.
what we have right now. And as for looking at Sony as like, it's just like taking a step back and just kind of like looking at Sony as a whole. It feels like, not gonna lie, it feels like every year they got like some sort of hardware that I need to buy to keep up with it. And it's just like, I don't know.
That's a little too much.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And like, I'm not trying to be like, oh, I'd rather get the Xbox more or anything like that. It's just like, why is there so much different type of hardware? I mean, I bought my Series X and I bought a Series S and I have a Elite controller for me and my wife. And I bought a headset. And I haven't had to buy anything else hardware for it since then. In fact, I've been able to put their apps onto other hardware. So I'm able to put their app onto my Steam Deck. I'm able to put their app onto my computer. There's TVs that have the app and stuff now. So it's just like, it's just a little like it's a little overreaching in my opinion. And
I mean,
especially
sorry, you continue.
Just think about the people that just this year seen, oh man, PlayStation Slim, gotta get it. Now you got it.
Oh yeah.
And there's a Pro out. It's just like,
that Slim just came out last year, like,
if I was an avid PlayStation fan that needed to be at the top of wherever PlayStation lies,
that's a full-time job right there.
This would be kind of frustrating. This would be kind of frustrating because it's just like, I've now gone the last 2 years of buying more first-party hardware than I have actual software to play on the hardware. Which is
crazy.
Just nuts to think about, because the whole shtick around PlayStation was not only the awesome, exclusives and, things about third party, but it was about like the constant or steady, I don't want to say steady flow as much as I want to say like newfound confidence that Sony got from the PS4 era, more or less leaving the PS3 era to go to the PS4, where it's like, oh, you're on the roll with Uncharted. Oh, you're on the roll with The Last of Us. Infamous is just like knocking it out of the park. And, you got a new title from the Infamous folks now doing Ghost of Tsushima, and that looks good. And you got a good partnership with Kojima. With
Square Enix is pretty on board right now.
Or not The Last of Us, the Death Stranding, and like you have a good relationship with Square and all this other stuff, and it's just like, sure, they continued to put out games, but you kind of put just a couple. You put a handful out. Let's be real. You put a handful of games out and gave us a handful of remasters in the other hand. That's all this generation kind of has been, but you keep wanting me to be on the most powerful thing, but to play what? What am I playing on this Pro?
I guess
like if you're just saying GTA, then I mean that's not that enticing. What happens if I get GTA and I don't like it?
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, I doubt that, but
they'll probably like it.
I highly doubt that. But like, I don't want to invest another 650 into a console that's supposed to be, I don't know, 0.25 better than the console that I got. And sure, those new neat things are cool, but it's just at the end of the day, I want I'd rather have an influx. Like if somebody gave me let me go with somebody gave me a Switch and then said, here's a ton of games back in 2018. And then somebody said, now here's an Xbox One X. You got all that power with no games. Which one are you going to choose? The one that has the lower power with all the games, or the one that has high power but doesn't really have much to show for it?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Well, I mean,
look at the PlayStation VR 2 right now, which I'm sure we'll talk about here shortly, but it's like definitely. That's more expensive than the PS5, and they already gave up on it, and it just came out a year and a month ago.
It's crazy, dude. It's backwards.
Well, I mean, a lot of people have been comparing the PSVR 2 to the Meta Quest 3, and they say the Meta Quest 3 it has more games. It's just a better value, than the PSVR 2.
It's also available. It's also something
and
you can use on your PC.
Yeah,
from day one.
Yeah,
from day one.
Yeah,
it's available on PC day one and wireless.
Yeah, and wireless. Yeah, and and it works on its own.
Reality.
You don't need you don't need a $600 console to play it.
I personally would rather have the PlayStation VR 2 over the Meta Quest 3 because I don't really care to play without the wire. Right?
Yeah, that's fair.
But at the same time, it's like if I'm only able to do PS things.
Yeah.
With my PlayStation VR 2, even if it's hooked up to the PC, then it's without a question going to the Meta Quest, because I want to be able to have the functionality to play something like a flight sim. I want to be able to go from Steam to Xbox to Epic to PlayStation. Like, I'll be able to play whatever. I don't want somebody to tell me that I can't play something.
Well, at least they're starting to learn their lesson, because PSVR 2 is going to get PC support at some point, so at least they're learning their lesson now. But it took them a while, maybe a little too late, honestly. But
that's I just don't understand, man. That whole they just want everything to be so tied down to get everyone onto PS5, and it's just like, I get you want to make people onto your main console, but like VR is so huge on PC, and there's so many little indie games that come out, and people modding in VR to games. It was just like. Not releasing it there everywhere, on PC and PlayStation.
Especially considering how expensive the thing is, too.
Yeah,
right?
It could have just definitely been a direct competitor. But oh well.
Before we leave the subject, there's one other thing I wanted to kind of mention.
What's up?
Go for it.
And it's like, so we're getting this PlayStation 5 Pro, and I'm definitely not a hater of new technology in any way, shape, or form. I'm not a big fan of mid-gen refreshes, but I am a fan of something being better than something else. Right? Especially in the long term of it, especially as a console connoisseur and collector and whatnot. Like, if I look 10 years down the road, I'm going to get the Pro. I'm not going to get the fucking regular PS5, right?
Yeah.
So So looking at it that the Pro is special in some sort of way to me. It's just not exactly needed right now. But at the same time, I'm thinking of this as like the PS5 Pro makes sense to me if there's another 5 or 6 years of this generation.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me if they drop this at the end of the year and then Xbox drops brand new generation in at the end of 2026. Like, sure, it's a year and a half, 2 year, space, but when I think of a casual person, I go back into town and see a lot of my friends. I see a lot of, gamers when I, go in and out of town to go visit other people and go to their friends' house and whatnot. And a lot of people, I ain't gonna lie, a lot of people that I know that are like Xbox fans, but and I think it's weird. I'll go in their house and they still got an Xbox One X. And I'm just like, I know that couldn't be me, but I see where they're coming from, where they thought they got the top of the last generation, right? They got the top of the last generation, and they kind of look at you weird when you're like, oh, you can't play Starfield and that, because it's really, if you think about it, it's not long ago that the One X came out, right?
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like, you only have this window of opportunity to sell somebody a generation. And it's very, very particular. So as you see, when PlayStation 2 dropped before the Xbox, like generations ago, PlayStation, it already had the name, but it also dropped first. And then the following generation, 360, came out first, dominated, and was easy for everybody to figure out and to understand. Oh, this is the next generation. We can use this. PlayStation came out behind and had to play catch up. Now PlayStation's about to drop something, from what we're seemingly hearing, is towards the end of a generation. And Xbox is already thinking about dropping something, possibly, and this is hearsay, but possibly towards the end of 2026 as for a new console. Like, man, how do you sell people on, hey, now get a PS6 2 years later or 2.5 years later?
Yeah, I mean, these consoles aren't getting any cheaper too, right? So it's like,
yeah,
that's gonna be the trick, and that's why, like, when I look at, like, I made that video today talking about the PS5 Pro, and just like in general, I'm not really in on mid-gen refreshes. Like, I feel like last gen was weird, or in particular or unique, because it was warranted. Because last gen, at the start of last gen, the consoles were dog shit.
Yeah, especially
like,
the Xbox One.
Yeah, especially the Xbox One. So the Xbox One X was especially like necessary. The PS4 Pro, you could make an argument, not so much, but it was still a pretty big improvement over the base PS4. But like this to the PS5, and if Microsoft came out tomorrow and said, "Hey, we're doing the exact same thing," my exact same reaction would be,
Yeah, now you have 3 Xboxes to worry about: the Series S, the Xbox Series X, and whatever the Xbox Series X Pro is called. You know,
it's like I'm not getting a Pro console. I'm not like I in fact I told Ham in the party last night. I said, like, my probably what I'll be doing if this is going to be a regular occurrence every generation now, is I'll get the new consoles when they launch, and then whenever they do a mid-gen refresh, I'll upgrade my PC.
Yeah.
And I'll just and that's just the way it's going to be. Because I don't, especially for an upgrade like this. Granted, these are all just rumored leaked specs. It's like we haven't gotten anything official from Sony, so it's hard to say. But like the specs don't excite me. Like, playing a prettier version of the same game I can play anywhere else at the same frame rate doesn't get me excited. I can already do that on PC. I can play it at a high frame rate too. So it's like, I don't know. I'm just not too pumped about it, but I know a lot of people are, and I know I'm sure a ton of these will sell. Just like last gen, it's no secret. So I'm happy for the people who are happy for it, but it's just, for me, I can't. It's hard to get super pumped about it right now. But Ham did mention for a second there about the PSVR 2, which is a topic today, and we're going to be talking about it. Let me bring it up here on the screen for you guys. But Sony reportedly pauses PlayStation VR 2 production to clear backlog of unsold units. Now, that headline pretty much says everything you need to know here. They're not selling enough PSVR 2 units to warrant making more of them. I mean, they need to sell them so that they're off the shelves so they can fill the shelves again, and that's not happening right now. So,
personally, I think
Yeah.
Astrobot could save it. Like if they just release a new Astrobot game, I think that could save the platform.
What's funny is I mentioned you and that game on my show earlier today.
Yeah,
That's funny.
I was like, yeah, I have a buddy that actually cried. Like,
Your buddy that
special.
says
It's a
Astrobot
masterpiece.
changed his life.
Yeah, it was a masterpiece, that game. Fucking honestly, like I don't think I've had a better gaming experience since that. Like that was a peak gaming experience for me.
That is
And
some
Juan
very
wakes up
high
at night
praise.
thinking about it.
Yeah. So I think
It's-
Astrobot on PSVR 2 could be like a game changer if they really go through with it. But I heard some rumors about there being a new Astrobot game coming out. I mean, that would make the whole PSVR 2 worth it just by itself.
When's the last
I
time
mean-
you've used your PSVR 2, Tuan?
I played Gran Turismo 7. You know,
When?
that game's really good. I think that was like
When?
I don't know, a few weeks ago now.
Go
I've
ahead.
been
Oh, okay.
well, yeah, I feel like a few weeks ago. I've just
Okay.
been playing. I've been playing Persona 3. I've been busy with Final Fantasy, so like I've been pretty busy for the
Sure.
past few. And even Yakuza came out, so it's been pretty packed this year. I've actually been keeping myself pretty busy, but I would like to get back to Gran Turismo 7 when I get the chance. So yeah, but yeah, I think. Sorry, you continue.
No, I was gonna say, so as the person here, like you're the only person here with a PSVR 2.
I'm probably the only person
Um,
like in like fucking Canada that has one. So.
You might be the only.
Maybe.
It says we have
Goddamn.
52 people watching this. I'm assuming of those 52 people, Twan, you're probably the only person, like either in here or watching this that has a PSVR 2. So your thoughts, like, are you shocked to hear that this is happening? That they're not even producing these things anymore because they have to wait for them to be off the shelves to even warrant that being a thing that they need to do.
Well, I always knew it was going to be a niche product. I knew it wasn't going to be anything that just flies off the shelves because VR's never really been that. You know, even like the PSVR 1 only sold like, I think like 5 million headsets, I think, like in its entire life. And that's not a lot when you consider, you know, like
Vincent
how much
Vegas says he has one.
Wanna
point
PSVR 2.
that out. And he says
Okay, so I'm not
GT7
going wrong.
and Village and Resident Evil Village are awesome on it.
Oh yeah, those games are definitely like the system sellers for sure. Even Resident Evil 4 VR just came out not that long ago, and that's actually really good too. So that's another game worth going on. So we got like 3 good games on this thing so far. So
I'm glad on your $500 device you got 3 good games. I'm just kidding.
Right.
Just kidding. I don't really know what.
there's even what is it called? I can't. I'm having a brain fart right now. But anyways, there's actually quite a few good games on that thing. But I think the technology is very impressive. You know, it's a really freaking good headset. But yeah, just unfortunately, I guess there's just not enough, you know, Sony first party support. I mean, there's a lot of games on it. Don't get me wrong, right? But not enough. Not. There's a lot of games you could also play on PC and, you know, on the MetaQuest, right? So not enough like exclusives, but there are exclusives. Like, you know, like I said, Resident Evil 8 and 7 are both exclusive. I think there's another one I can't think of. Like this, I gotta look back into. It's been a while since I looked at the library, but it is a good piece of hardware, that's for sure. But like I said, back to your question though, like I'm not surprised that it's not selling that well because it was really expensive. It was tied down to the PS5 only, right? I mean, if this also supported the PC at launch, I feel like this thing would have sold so much better. But obviously, that's
100%.
the case. That wasn't the
100%.
case, obviously, right? So this is the reality that we're living in, and Sony's facing it right now, right? But it looks, at least they learned their lessons because, you know, PC support is coming soon, so we just gotta wait on that. And maybe who knows if that'll help it out, but we'll see. It depends on the support that they do give PC players, because if what Ham said, if it's just PlayStation games, right? If they just, you know, put PSVR 2 on PC and it's like, okay, you can only play Gran Turismo 7 and that's it, then, you know, it's kind of, you know, it's whatever, right? It's not really that worth it. But if it's like the whole slate, right? You could play like Half-Life Alyx with it. You could play this with it. You know, that's okay. Now this is something worth considering. So
Definitely.
yeah, we'll see. Yeah, like I said, I still think it could bounce back, but I don't think I wouldn't say it's like a complete failure right now. But we'll see. I mean, like I don't think
that's very positive of you to
like
say,
I
Swan.
don't think Sony's given up on it completely yet. But yeah, because
But
I
they're
don't even think they thought it would sell that crazy because I don't think they're really even taking a loss on it. That's why it's so expensive in the first place.
I think putting it on PC and canceling them making it is like telling them this. Hey, yo, stop the production. Stop it. I mean,
we have a whole warehouse full of these things, you know.
Yeah,
I mean,
think writing's on the
I
wall.
mean,
there.
in a boxing match, Twan, you know, when people are fighting and someone's like, you know, let's throw the towel in there.
Yeah.
What do you think that means, bud?
No, they're just throwing a towel, you know.
Yeah, you just
throwing
toss
towels.
it, boom,
That's how your
wipe off
towels
your
do
sweat,
that.
bud, and
That's
keep.
it, man.
Holy shit! I can
chugging.
put people's comments. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I just now realized that. But Vincent Vega, I just realized this. I'm an idiot. I do apologize. It says, I mean, Sony didn't even put resources into VR 1 backwards compatibility.
Yeah, that would definitely take a hit as well, for sure.
That's another thing that shocked because I wasn't gonna
That was
buy the
extremely
PSVR. Yeah, I wasn't really gonna buy the PSVR. Like, I'm not super into the idea of VR. It looks cool, but it's not like I'm dying to get it. But like when they said that we're not even going to support the games that we already have, I was just kind of like, what?
Yeah, it was like a double whammy, just like
who made that decision? That's really dumb. But
yeah, it's a shame as well because there's so many games that were designed with the original PSVR. Like for example, Astrobot, right, on PSVR 1. That game was only made for the original PSVR, and you cannot play that on the PSVR 2. So now it's like this game's kind of like stuck in limbo now, right? Because let's say someone doesn't have either VR headset. How am I going to convince someone to buy the original PSVR when the VR 2 was out just to play Astrobot? It's impossible. No one's going to play that game anymore. That game is just like permanently stuck in this, like I said, this limbo where it's just never going to get played unless someone already has like a PSVR laying around. So
I could have got a PlayStation VR headset for like $20, and I was like, I'm all set.
Well, you got a PSVR?
Yeah, the regular PS. It's when I was working at the game store. Like I could.
When did you get that? Yeah, when did you get that?
He didn't get it.
No, I didn't.
He said he could have.
I said I could.
Why did you not get that? For $20?
One's furious now.
There's just nothing for me to like. I'm just not.
Astrobot is like is worth $300 on its own, in my opinion.
You know what? They should have made it available for the second one.
Yeah, well, they didn't. That's the point I'm making, though, right? Like,
yeah, that's what he's saying, Twan.
Twan's like, I would have paid $1,000 for Astrobot.
Yes,
he would
help us all.
You cannot put a price tag on that game. The fact that like I paid like $300 and then $50 for the game. Like even that felt like a good deal. Like I was like, man, I really underpaid for this game. That's how I felt playing the game. You know. It was such a great game, man. And $20, like I'm sorry, you're just dumb.
Twan's offended now. Twan can't believe it. Twan's having
now you understand how we feel about that. You won't buy yourself a new headset.
Anyways, that's exactly
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
but except a new headset's way more vital.
Yeah,
way.
I don't know. I don't know, man.
Important.
I don't know, man.
No, we know.
It is.
We know.
Like I don't know how to get up in the morning if I didn't play that game. Like fuck.
Oh my god.
That's Swan. I think you should. I think you should figure some things out, buddy.
That's funny. Figure some things out.
But I mean, yeah. Does anyone else want to talk about Sony reportedly at this point? Sony pausing production on the PSVR 2.
All I gotta say is like they gotta release Astrobot sooner or later because they'll move units for sure.
At this point, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. I don't think. I mean, kind of what Ham said. I feel like they've thrown the towel.
No, not yet. Not yet. I think it still's got a few more years in them. Yeah, I don't think this is the end.
All right.
A
Well,
few more years of sitting on the shelves before they start tossing in the trash.
Twan says a few more years. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out.
True.
It's not the end of the year. It's not the end, man. It's not the end. It's just a new beginning. That's all it is.
It's the beginning of the end is what it is. But yeah, Mike, were you about to say something?
Nah, I was poking fun at Twan.
Oh, we all are. We all are. But yeah, I mean that's the topics I had for today. Unless anyone else. Yeah, it was Star Wars Battlefront, PlayStation 5 Pro, and then the PSVR 2.
Yeah, we gotta talk about Hi-Fi Rush getting a better PS5 Metacritic score than
I saw that, and my initial reaction, call me somebody with common sense, but it's just, wasn't there like 8 reviews for the PS5?
Yeah, there's only 8 reviews.
Yeah, so it's just like, okay, that makes sense, because I'm pretty sure when it first released on Xbox, it had also like a similar rating, and then as more reviews came in, it kind of evened out.
It goes down after a bit.
So yeah, I was excited because I saw people sharing reviews around. I was like, oh, these Dragon's Dogma 2 reviews. I was getting excited, and then I was like, it's Hi-Fi Rush. I don't fucking care. I already played that game.
I know, right? Like, we know it's a good game. I don't understand.
Yeah, you don't need to tell me what I already know. You know,
like, show me the reviews for Dragon's Dogma 2. It's all.
When's that come out? When's the reviews for that come out?
It should come out very soon.
I have no idea.
It's crazy that Dragon's Dogma 2 is cheaper than Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, how much is Dragon's Dogma? How much is that Dragon's Dogma 2?
On GG deals, it's $47.18 for Dragon's
Dogma
2.
That doesn't count.
But for Elden Ring, it's $52.23.
That's hysterical.
Damn.
But wasn't it? Wait, is Dragon Dogma 2 not a $70 game?
It is.
Is it $70 game?
It is.
Should never that price on PC, you know.
Yeah.
It's a
7. But then I'm pretty sure Elden Ring launched at $60, right?
It did.
Yeah. So man, crazy how things turn out.
It's pretty wild how things turn out.
Yeah.
Elden Ring, that is nuts though. The Elden Ring still is that's not with the DLC. Like, that's not like the package.
No, that's just Elden Ring.
God damn, that's pretty unfortunate.
I know. I really want to get Elden Ring on PC, but it is looking grim.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough to find that on sale too, because of like just the timing with that DLC and everything. Probably after the DLC comes out, you'll probably find it cheaper, excuse me. But yeah, that's it for today's show, everybody. We can get into the outros. But whoever wants to start us off on the outros, and go ahead and get us started.
I'll start us off. It was terrible being here today with you guys.
I know.
It was equally just as bad. Twan's like, I know, I'm sorry.
I'm telling you right now,
it's my fault.
I'm telling you right now, the gameplay is just absolutely.
What? It's just an article. It's not even gameplay.
Exquisite gameplay.
Thank you very much.
That was the best part about it.
You apparently can play Hi-Fi Rush on PS5 right now. So,
you know what? I can also just play it anywhere.
Yeah. On like any device.
I could actually play it anywhere but the PlayStation.
But I don't know, man. Those haptic feedbacks.
It's pretty interesting that
it's definitive version.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
How about that?
That's what I've been hearing. So at least
that sounds fantastic. That sounds.
You'll have to tell me what's better about the ending in that game.
The ending? No, it's all about the haptics, man.
Oh yeah, the feedback.
Oh, you could feel the beat in the controller. You know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I swear to
God,
it's
a little
like
harder
fan base
in
is
my
like
elite, but okay.
Another like that fan base that's obsessed with all that, the vibrating of the controller. So it was like,
I know I am
from a baby.
Sure.
Got that. I got subwoofers in my elite, and I was feeling it way harder.
Just turn,
But
just turn the
anyways.
vibration all the way up.
I wish you could.
Anyways, yeah,
turn them up.
it was a good show today. I had fun being with you guys. It's been a while since I've
Like old times.
been on
man.
the show with you
Nice
guys,
having
especially
you.
since you guys just recently changed to Monday.
Yeah.
I kind of
Yeah.
like that. I'm much more available on Mondays than I am on Sundays.
Mondays is
But,
way better than Sundays.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, you can find me at hamsolo05 gaming on Twitter, and then on YouTube you can find me at TSWS Gaming. That's all.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Twan, go up.
All
Up
right,
next, Twan.
You can find me
Get
on
'em.
this show on the Mondays when we do it. I'm pretty sure we're gonna try to at least do it every week. I think we're going for that.
We're gonna do. I mean, I'm gonna be doing something here every Monday. Like I have no reason to miss Mondays.
Regardless.
Sundays were kind of shit because it's just I'm burnt out on Sunday. But Monday, I'm fine. I'm good. I'm good to go Mondays.
You can also find me on Twitter at @ismetwan, and you could also find me in Canada, I guess somewhere. I'm there. So
Somewhere in
Yeah,
Canada.
Someone,
Throwing after
one
Bob.
of the 60 people watching is gonna track
Yeah.
Twan down in Canada based on that
Throwing
information
after.
alone.
Yeah.
He is the Canadian.
Twan just doxed
You
himself.
Yeah.
You guys can find me here next Monday and whenever other times I'm on Matt streams, and that's where you can find me. I also sometimes stream over on the Game Drain. I haven't done that in a while though, and I kind of need to again. So, yeah,
The
that's where you can
biggest
find me.
channel on YouTube
Mhm.
With 5
The
trillion
big-
subs.
Yeah.
With
You can find
with, like,
Mike in
yeah,
the garbage can
Oh, you're not wrong about that.
soon after this goddamn stream.
Oh my
You
god.
can
His
you can
hands here. I
find
gotta
me
throw my
Later on
shit
this
out.
week, bud, I'm pulling up on you.
Oh god.
I'm gonna kill you.
hands in a
Gonna,
hands in a head.
gonna
He's
get
like,
the
I've
job
been
done.
waiting for this moment.
He's gonna
Ugh.
get the
That
job
gay
done finally.
kids.
You can find me here every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern with these guys talking about video games. Wednesdays 2 p.m. Eastern with Ham Solo. This week is gonna be a little bit different because Ham's out. Loke's gonna be stepping in on that one. So me and Loke this Wednesday at actually 1 p.m. Eastern because we're changing the time specifically for Loke so we can get it done a little bit earlier in his day. And then Fridays and Mondays videos here, and then I'm on Ham Show TSWS Gaming for bullsitting every Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern, and that is where you can find me. Oh, Twitter at MalXGame, so check me out there as well. But with that being said, that's everything. We're gonna get up out of here. Thank you all for watching. We will see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.